I'm Ben.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsorry@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in a Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VinandSorry. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed, a child shall lead them.
Yes. Oh, boy. Okay. My Insanity has requested another song.
Yes, dear listener, my insanity.
The name of the band is Chernobyl The Secret. And then the name of the song, if I'm saying this correctly, is FMJ, The Deluge? Deluge? How do you say that?
It's 762 FMJ, The Deluge.
Did I not say that? Oh, I just said FMJ.
Yeah, I think it's 762 is around. I don't know if they're using that like as a whatever, but anyway, okay. And the name of this band is
Chernobyl The Secret.
Chernobyl. That's very ironic considering current events. Okay, here we go. Chernobyl The Secret. Let's do it. listener, the deluge!
Storm. I love the sound of storms.
Okay, that was
Chernobyl The Secret.
762 FMJ.
Yeah. So-
Which you know how they have like 92.3 DLG for
Yeah,
the
it sounded like a radio station.
yeah, it's a double entendre, I think, because the 762 is around, right? So
Wait. 762 is what? Around?
it's a round, it's a bullet.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I'm saying. And then that's I was and then the first line is, once you give a bullet, you can't give it back.
Yeah.
This is my sentiment to you. So he's not saying that he's literally going to shoot the person. He's saying, you know, if you fire a weapon, that's it. Like it's irreversible.
Yeah, it is.
So he's saying that's my sentiment to you. Like, on came the rain, nothing but water for miles. Nothing but water for miles, and still she smiles. This is another relationship song.
I know. Her cryptic smile sends shivers down my spine. Okay, let me just throw this in there because I thought of it when we were listening to it. So it was another one of those brain things, and they were talking about... Well, it was the same thing about lying, and they were saying the way that you know if somebody's doing a real smile or a fake smile is that when you genuinely smile, that there are creases beside your eye, because your eyes get in on it. So if somebody's creases don't go beside their eye, you're just faking.
Unless of course they already know that, in which case.
Squint up for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it reminded me that when her cryptic smile sends shivers down my spine.
Yeah, you're done, bro. You're done, so. And then she's.
Forecast called for rain, but she said we'll be fine.
There you go. There you go. There you are, dear listener. There you are.
Her upturned head greets rain from the sky. I think this will be our demise. Okay, isn't a deluge or whatever that is? Isn't that like the thing that holds the water? Is that like one of those things?
No, a deluge is a flood. A deluge is a flood. It's like.
But isn't that the flood that comes from that dam that, like, you know, when they pull the water back and they kind of like dam it and then they create like a living community inside of it?
No, that's not what a deluge is. A
Okay,
deluge.
so any sort of a flood is a deluge.
Yeah, it's
tsunami's the same thing.
Yeah, it's describing the moment when the thing hits and you're done. So what he's saying is, he's saying.
Great way to explain the interrelationship.
He's saying that the meteorologist called for rain, but she said she was fine. The forecast called for rain, but she said she'll be fine.
That's you. You always say, I'm fine. I'm fine. How are you? Fine. Fine.
Yeah, but that's usually the girl. The girl will be like, I'm fine, when she's not. And then she gets mad at the guy for not reading her mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why you drew that line in our relationship.
What line?
You have to speak honestly. You can't say you're fine when you're not fine. Like, say it.
Well, no, you can say it. I'm just not going to hold myself responsible to read your mind, dear listener.
Right.
Yeah, like
if you actually want to... I have to say, though, I know that probably, like, game playing and stuff is not good, maybe, in a relationship, but it is certainly fun. And so I do miss that element of a relationship. You know, I don't want to talk about it. Really? Are you sure? Speak to me. Fine. I like that.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, go for it.
Well, no, you're not going to acquiesce to my,
to your demands.
I know, yeah. That's what I want.
Yeah, I think that's fun when
Chase me.
I think that's fun. I think that's fun.
Yeah, until the relationship's in some real trouble and
Correct.
Somebody's not
Seduct.
reading the tea leaves and I can definitely
and it's like,
see how it
oh
goes
well,
on.
you read my mind before. How come you
so why
can't
don't
read
you
it
get
now?
that?
Oh, dear listener, don't fall into the trap, fellas. Don't do it. Like this poor fella did. This poor fella obviously fell into the trap. The clouds loom over our heads with tangible dread. This is our end. See, we just got done another relationship song with this guy. You see,
What
he's
are
trying
you
to tell
Remind
Shorty.
me, Sandy.
He's trying to tell Shorty something. Listen, hear me. He's trying to say, yeah, but I mean, you know, that's the problem. Like when you don't have really good communication, is situations like this end up happening, and you could tell something is wrong, but now you've made a habit. Because the other side of the whole mind reading thing is that the guy can decide. The guy can at many times accurately read the mind, but it gives you a lot of deniability because you could go, oh, well, you didn't say that. How was I supposed to know? So now he's gotten this like clouds loom over our heads with tangible dread. So now
nothing but water for miles. So I mean, it has already engulfed them.
Yeah.
And she's still sitting there smiling.
So
well, what do you think? She wanted it over, or what?
No, I think she's just not being honest about her. He's dealing with somebody who won't be honest about their emotions.
Like Gail rushes in. I hope that you can swim.
Every man for himself type shit. That's a good way to prosecute a relationship.
Look, he says, I look to her for relief, but her joy compounds my grief.
Yeah.
Because she's not seeing what's going on. She's just going on oblivious to it.
Well, I don't know if she has true joy or if she's just, that's a defense mechanism and she's projecting that she's completely fine. Like, for example, there was that situation and the guy got left at the altar.
Yeah.
And he's like, come on, guys, this is a celebration. Let's all dance. And it was so painful to watch because everyone's like, yeah. That guy was like like you couldn't have drawn him up better in a sitcom or something like that. Like just the way that he was.
That's
like
true.
they're just some,
especially if it was a cartoon.
it's just some people in a relationship that like they can't acknowledge for whatever reason that things are bad or that they're hurt. They can't do it.
Yeah.
So they gotta pretend.
Yeah.
So their relationship is like crumbling to shambles, and he's looking at her for relief, but it's not happening, bro. Like she's not. You know what I'm saying? Like deluge, sink to the depths, grasp for breath.
That's it.
On came the rain, beating the world. Nothing but water for miles.
I mean,
There you go. I mean, that's my favorite thing about this song is the guitar. The guitar work in this song was heavy. I miss going to shows with the. This is like one of those things where you get like 9 jammies, boom, 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 because it's just like the aggression in the guitars were just so crazy on this one. And it was short and sweet, man. It was like bang, 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 bang.
I lost track of the lyrics again. I was trying to follow, but I don't know if he jumped around differently or something like that. So I was like, oh, what are we saying here? And then I was trying to catch up. I hate it when I'm in a situation where I'm trying to catch up.
But he pretty much. I mean, well, I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, it was pretty clear.
So when he says, once you give a bullet, you can't give it back. He said, actually, when he sang it, he said, take it back. You can't take it back. This is my sentiment for you. So he was telling her, like, look, once you do something, that's irreversible.
Well, yes, although I think a lot of it also has to do with the things that you say when you're in a conflict in a relationship. So I think the bullet there. So I think she said something that that brought on the deluge, is what it seems like to me. So the word was the bullet, and then that brought on the flood. That was like the last straw, because when you're in unhealthy relationships like that, there's always that one last, like we saw in the show, like this guy went and said XYZ, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you gotta. I mean, some of this shit is just, it's too much, man. Some of the stuff is just like way too. And everybody has their own like little, moment when they're like, okay, I'm not tolerating that, or it's not even I'm not tolerating it. Like they literally cannot get past it. There's just some things and you can't undo it, and especially when you're with a person that's like this girl, where she's just like putting out the front and won't let her feelings out. So she won't even apologize for it probably, or she's going to apologize in some really trite, silly way. And the guy just couldn't get past it, and it just put out a deluge, and that was the end of them.
Yeah.
But, people like that, they're obsessed with power in a relationship, and there's always going to be in their minds, if they don't have a power imbalance, they don't want to be even in the relationship in the first place. It's what it looks like to me.
I guess. I mean, that's not a very healthy way to have a relationship. And for me, it was a little bit sad when he said, like, he was looking at her for some relief, but she was just so happy about it that it was like, well, shouldn't you, like, you know, like, if our relationship's not going good, it's not like both of us are, like, you know, it's not like one of us is, like, jumping around happy, clappy, and the other one's sad, you know, like, obviously we both want our relationship to be good, so if we're, you know what I'm saying, like, I could see how that would be hurtful. It's like, okay, so we're not doing good and you're all happy, clappy, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but again, that I'm not, I mean, is she really happy, or is she just projecting that because she's got, yeah, and you know, that's the thing where you kind of have to, it's hard because on the one hand, you don't want to say if a person has too many issues, you shouldn't be with them. Because everybody has issues. And to a degree, it's almost an ableist thing to say. Like, if you have too many mental health issues, I'm out of here. But there is a line between saying, this is as much as I can carry in a certain type of relationship, which goes back to expectations. So at some level, you have to say to yourself, this is as much as I can deal with. And you got to be really straightforward about it. You got to say, okay, look, I understand you got these problems, but this whole thing where this and this happens and then you smile and laugh or whatever, like, if that's going to continue, like, and if we're not even going to try to work on it, if that's a non-negotiable for you, cool, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, when you get into a relationship, you know, you're all up in your feelings, man. You're not trying to. And people like that usually have really massive redeeming qualities. You know what I'm saying? So you get swept up in the relationship, you know, really quickly. And they're, especially when they're girls, they're usually very quirky and very, you know what I'm saying? So you're like, oh, you can overlook that. But then when shit gets real in a relationship, man, they start doing that shit. Forget it. You out. So, you know, it's tough because, you know, one of the boys is obsessed with making sure that he makes the right decision. And I understand why. You know what I'm saying? So one of them is just like absolutely like obsessed with it. And, you know, I feel for him. The other one doesn't care at all, and I worry for him. So I feel sorry for one of them, and I worry about the other one.
He doesn't care at all. I just think that
it wouldn't be a deal breaker for him.
Well, I think it depends on how much. He's a very reasoning thinker. And I think that if he saw it was to a certain degree, no, but he's also not expecting a completely perfect whole person.
Yeah, the other one wants a completely whole person.
He wants somebody that doesn't exist. He wants a friggin' robot.
I think he wants like a you-type person.
No, he doesn't want a you. He doesn't want a me-type person. Because,
or what he perceives you to be.
Right. And I tell him, like, what you perceive is not what it is. You know, when I say, look, I do things that frustrate your dad. He doesn't want to believe it. He doesn't want to. No, it's true. Like,
that's because he's half right to a degree, because that's the other thing. He's seen other people frustrate me. So he has a comparative. So he knows there's no real comparison. But but you haven't. So I hear what you're saying. I think he'd be fine with a you-type person. Because you and him have the same perspectives on a lot of things.
Agree.
So if he ran into a girl like you, then you guys could all be neurotic together.
Yeah, I guess. Anyway, well, my insanity. This one is 8.8 for me.
This is a 9.3 for me. This was a guitar-driven heavy metal song, which is what I think all heavy metal songs should be. It should be driven by the guitar. It's the distinctive instrument of heavy metal, dear listener. Then out. What did I give it? Did I give it a 9.3?
9.3.
There you go. Then out.
Sorry, out.
Gone.